Welcome back, everybody. The demise of Raven feels imminent. We are watching the destruction of them game after game so far in this tournament. We'll see if they can turn it around here, but all signs point to no, and I don't know what they need to do to win this series. I just don't feel like the strategies they prepared have been very well practiced. Like, I could see signs when I see the strategies they're choosing. Really interesting drafts we saw in game number 1, for example, with the combos. I'm like, okay, this is well prepared. They drafted it really well, but the execution was off. Game 2 again, okay, we tried to trick them a little bit. We went double support first, then finished the draft out. Later we went bloodlust, but the execution, getting caught by Garrosh many, many times. They didn't account for the Garrosh there, I guess. And cool ideas, cool strategies, but perhaps needs to be a little bit more practiced.
I think it's because there are lots of experienced old guys there. There are lots of experienced heroes of the Storm players. They want to go back and feel what was I good at, and then picking their comfortable heroes, trying to work on that. But in this meta where we have lots of new heroes coming in, lots of the stronger ones, the higher up there, the top tier heroes there, I think they have to really start picking those up. If they don't, they will just start to fall apart from beginning to end, just like this. I don't think it's going to come for game 3, but later on, because they still do have time to really improve and learn those new heroes. They just need to pick up some new stuff, I think.
Yeah. Okay, game 3 is going to be Infernal Shrines. This is, again, the map pick of Raven, by the way. Not taking first ban, wanting to choose the Battleground over first ban. Just Raven things. Perhaps they just need you guys to cheer for them in the Twitch chat. Maybe they need you to send your bits. See the Raven logo in the Twitch chat. Fly the Raven banner. Everybody needs a little cheering up sometimes.
The Raven meta is here. Choosing map over first pick.
That's what they do. Here we go. First ban will go to Tempest. On red side. Let's see what they're going to draft here. Would love to see a Kerrigan game, just because this has been a bit of a crazy day regardless.
Let's see. Ban Rehgar, Uther. I don't think they have to ban Genji or Ariel against Raven.
Holding this one in for a little while.
I think Tempest is trying to be creative. That's what I'm feeling right now.
That's what I'm feeling too. So I hope creative means Kerrigan. It's not that creative, but it's fun at least.
Yep. Or Raven may actually be thinking about if Cho'Gao comes out, Ariel is a must pick.
Well, they are running the clock down on this one. Okay.
And Uther.
There's only been one recorded history of a ban being missed in getting the broken ban icon. It was actually MVP Miracle. Forgot to lock in their ban. Thought Tempest maybe was trying to be nice for a second, but it will be the Uther ban. Raven, you have to expect they will ban now the Genji. So the Uther ban just says, okay, give me Genji or give me Ariel. Okay, it's going to be an insta-lock Genji. Watch it, watch it. Let's see how fast he does it. No?
Kerrigan?
Kerrigan, please? Insta-lock Genji's so fast on BOE, but today, they're on this map, they're not interested, not biting. So they lock it in now. I'm like the longest insta-lock of all time. Oh, sorry, guys.
That's not an insta-lock. There we go.
It was the delayed insta-lock, guys. It's lag. It's lagging. The lobby's lagging. He locked it in a long time ago.
Yeah, but time never stops. That's why. And I've been thinking about some other picks that Tempest could be pulling out. Lockdown played some Guldans, Kel'Thuz. Falstead is also a great option.
Well, you always have to think of the draft from Raven's perspective first, though.
Lunara Tastar. These pickups, I like it, but they do not have an Ariel. That's the thing. So with the double support, maybe with the Rehgar, having Lunara poking from the back line, maybe having one of the dives in Illidan still a possibility. DeYoung, pretty good Diablo on this map, so I think it can work out all right this time.
Yeah, I would like to see a very aggressive warrior now for Sign to try to punish the Lunara. Perhaps Stitches would be a good option, etc. This map is medium distance between lanes, so not as good as Spider Queen, for example, if you're going to prioritize that in draft. With the Uther ban, they don't have that for Genji. We might just see a safe Rhaegar rotation here with a tank, like Rhaegar Muradin. Greymane. Very strong with the Rhaegar, if that's what they're going to grab here. Yep. Tempest putting a lot of thought into this draft. You could tell that they want to make sure they win this series hard. And didn't think they would prioritize the Greymane this highly in the draft when they already have the Genji. Now the question is, what's the second support for Raven? We're going to see Karazim again. His win rate is plummeting at a disastrous rate.
I think the thought behind Greymane was because Lunara, along with Greymane, is a pretty strong one. So they want to take that away before the second ban phase, or their pick phase comes back, which is a pretty decent one. Of course, on Konong, the Greymane, maybe he wants to get all that stacks now.
Yeah, well, that's part of the reason why Raven is going to ban Tyrael here. This is the old Tempest style with the Wizen Duelist. Arthas is banned.
I know why they picked Greymane already. Because in Greencast, the Marine batted that if Sign completes unquestable stacks, that he would buy them meat. Now, Honkono is taunting the Marine once more. If I finish my stacks, do I get extra meat? Do I get sushi this time?
I wonder if that's really what's going on. Honkono has been playing Wizen Duelist throughout the majority of this season. Did not do so much at when we were at the Eastern Clash. Was playing more cocktail builds, but yeah, maybe responding to the challenge. The Marine is, by the way, to kind of go back onto Chico's point, is an analytical commentator here in Korea. Cast Heroes, Overwatch, used to cast Hearthstone, used to cast Brood War Pro League.
Ex-Pro.
Yep.
Ex-StarCraft Pro. So
that's right. So Raven, looking for that secondary support, or the main support. Will it be the Karazim? And what tank comes with it? Wow, Artanis Sonya.
And it's
saving
not
the 5th slot for the support.
It's not H82. H82 is actually on Tempest now, so it's a different one.
So two really strong solo Shriners, but they have a strong front line with this. And it's difficult for Genji to break through and actually get the kills, get the damage. So this could work. Honkono's still got that smile on his face. Top lane is going to be very difficult to deal with for whoever they choose. This kind of takes Dahaka out of the mix, I'd say. Don't really think we could see him anymore. It'd be a big risk.
With Sonya and Artanis double melee on the other side, Arthas, I think, is a strong, or at least actually a must-go for Tempest. With Ancestral Healing, maybe even without the Ancestral Healing, he can sustain himself with the army.
Sign, what hero are you playing? You playing the Muradin? Nope, it's the ETC. I like this. Leoric available as well. Not a ton of mobility to escape entombs on the side of Raven. And, I mean, ETC can really do a number on Lunara. A few different ways to interrupt the mosh pit. The spear going to be the most consistent. It's going to be Karazim for Chom here to round out the lineup. So, I mean, it's not as strong support for Lunara, but the Palms, if they are used correctly, can be good. Not as good as what Ariel can provide in terms of healing. Her level 7 talent nerfed in the next week's patch. This might be the last time we see a draft like this from Raven. I don't know if it's going to work, but they've tried 3 unique, I want to say unusual drafts now in this series. Can this be the one that turns it around? We're going to find out as we head into Infernal Shrines for possibly the last game of the night. In blue, Raven, Darvish on Sonya, Hamlin on Artaz, NMX on Lunara, Deong on Tassadar, and Chom on Karazim.
And in red, Tempest. Hide on Rehgar, Honkauna on Genji. Lockdown on Greymane, Sign on ETC, and an H82 on Leoric.
Oh, there's a good swap already. Fortunately, it sets up a good power slide right after it since it was on to Sign. Sign is using the best ETC skin now. I don't know what it's called, but it's by far the best one.
It's the newest one, too.
Yeah. And those usually mean the same thing, but in this case, definitely. Okay. In terms of talents, everything's pretty standard. Wolf Run actually for Rehgar instead of Lightning Bond with this comp. I think both would have been viable. Sign really wants to punish Darvish if he wants to commit, but Darvish is too wise for this. Will back away. Top lane, Leoric versus Artanis. Always a tough one for Artanis if the drain hopes are good. Does get a swap actually in that top lane right now. Leoric does have the ability to get away though. Just watching this on the mini-map. Commentating that for you guys. Second swap misses. Am I commenting it down to the team from watching the mini-map? It is going to be Karazim rotating up. They want the pick over here onto Lunara.
Farsight catches at the very edge.
And will Leoric live? That's the question. I don't think so. So low. Lockdown comes over and saves him.
Lockdown comes in for the help, and they will not miss too much XP with that too. So nicely done by H82, escaping.
All right, everything resets. Tempest still only with a kill onto Lunara. Pretty good start here for Raven with this composition. Lunara is very strong on this map because she can burn down the defenders, the skeletal defenders, and actually get the last hits onto them to get the score. And Sonya is great on the Shrine because of how Whirlwind works. Hyde actually finds himself a little bit caught here. Honkauna comes over to try to peel, but it's going to be a kill. Chom gets it. Well done here. Raven evens up the score. Now they have control with this draft on top of the Shrine. It'll be tough for Tempest to retake this. They're already up to 16, 18. And look at them go. Darvish and Chom just clearing it out. And MX clears the bot wave actually, briefly. Tempest looks to do a last-minute contest, but it might just be too late.
They're waiting for the moment. There's a stun, and the focus onto Chom. Nice dash away.
They're not going to get this, and in fact, Lockdown may die so incredibly low. And Lunara does so well against Genji because the deflect doesn't really work against her damage over time. And this is going to be the first objective all series long for Raven. They will take the first Mortar Punisher now. During all of this, H82 has kept the experience lead for Tempest, pushing in this top lane very hard. But that's going to be taken away from them now.
Also, against the divey comp of Tempest, Lunara can just leap over anytime, so she can survive herself. In the front line, of course, Bruisers will do so much damage, and their double supports will help in. So I think Raven has a pretty decent team comp. And on the other side, if Honkauna, if ETC lands on pretty good mosh,
the
there's
Punisher.
nothing to.
Punisher has something out for Lockdown here. They almost got the kill. Anyway, continue your thoughts, sorry.
Yeah, there's not much to really cancel the mosh from happening. The swaps, I guess, swap can happen.
And the spear. The spear has to hit, which is very difficult to do. Especially if Leoric is in your face.
There's only two, and if Sonya takes sleep, that's also a possibility later on.
Yeah, and might just hold the question mark before you know, it gets locked in just to see. We did see Honkauna on ETC earlier playing the stage dive. Hard engaging for them on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And the Honkauna build actually, sad as it is not going to be the Wizened Duelist one. Cocktails coming out. They just hit 7, and he locks in the cocktail, so no more meat bets.
It's a weird one. Sign on ETC, Honkauna on Genji, and Lockdown on Greymane. It's a little change. Darvish getting caught. Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Ooh, sure. Lunara gets caught here too. NMX is in trouble.
The shield comes along, and Rehgar dies in. Meanwhile, Chom picking up lots of kills as Karazim.
Yeah. Very well done. They actually don't get Lunara either. Tempest falling further behind. And it's not because of the draft, it's just because these exchanges are going so well. Lunara is never threatened. And when the heavy dive comes into Lunara, Tempest gets punished for it. She survives, and then Chum gets the extra damage done. Lunara's damage over time burns through. So, very well done so far here for Raven. Just looking poised to be ahead as we head into the next Shrine phase. Tempest is going to try to get a rotational advantage, timing this cap with it. Unfortunately, the Shrine is right where the cap is, so it's not going to give them any extra pressure across the map.
So actually a little more favorable to Raven.
Absolutely.
Because they got the bottom camp.
You don't need to take this camp right now, but looks like they want to, just to relieve a lot of that extra pressure. Tempest needs to get picks here before 10. The window is very much closing. Diong body blocked here, though. Already used the shift. This was exactly the pick they were looking for. This is what they needed. Sign, though, all alone here. Make it a 1-for-1, as both Greymane and Leoric are in mid and bot, respectively. Not here for the fight. So this means that Raven will get 10 and clear this camp first, and then they're going to take the Shrine. Tempest looks like they just want to split push here, leaving the objective alone. A little bit of indecision here by Tempest, though, unfortunately for them.
Because they're missing ETC. They can't really go dive in.
You know what?
Raven hit 10.
Look at what Raven's doing, too. They're only leaving Sonya to stroll the Shrine. They're actually going to make sure they maintain an experience lead. This is one of the reasons why Sonya was picked specifically on this map for so long, was because she's one of the best solo Shriners in the game. She does not take leap, by the way. And so now they get full experience from 3 lanes. Raven is playing well here, considering their draft and considering the situation. And MX so close to getting the kill into lockdown here, but there's an Ancestral. Tempest ends up getting the better trade down here in the bot lane. Darvish will finish up this Shrine now.
And with those choices from Raven, it is Mosh Pit. It's going to be so much harder to actually stop that from happening now.
Ooh, NMX is caught here. Dragon Blade gets popped.
Ooh, 7-sided strike connects into multiple targets, and Okono just escaped smoothly.
Punisher here is starting to work on this top wall, but
trying to delay from earthing back on because this Punisher is actually pushing so hard.
Yeah, and you know, the lack of Lunara here makes it tough to actually get extra value out of this with the range damage she provides the siege, but Dion is doing a good job. And finally, this will go down, but Tempest got a fort while not taking the objective and got several kills. And the objective is only as good as it ends up being effective, right? Just getting the Punisher alone doesn't mean you won. Oh, look at this. Solo Mosh. It's going to be a kill onto Darvish here.
Lack of damage, though, is the problem because Okono used all the Qs onto Dion.
Greymane's coming up, though. Look at that face melt. Darvish will eventually go down here at the end of the day.
He could have survived, but he went in, thought they had the chance to turn things around, but not this time.
Okay, so this evens things up. And as I was saying, you know, Heroes of the Storm is a game about objectives. It's a different MOBA than that, you know. You're not getting a Baron or a Roshan, but you are definitely looking to get these big objectives. And if you do get them, you have to use them. And if you can't, then somebody's just pushing with your heroes can be more effective. As we saw, big whiffed Entomb here, but still, look at the positioning of Raven. They need to back away now. 5v3. Dion is just AFK in the top lane. Looking to get that extra experience right now to try to push down that top fort to eventually even out the structures. He's so far unsuccessful.
Rotational work from Tempest. They are trying to catch the macro now because they are a little bit behind still from losing all the objectives. But they push bot, and it's almost similar in structure. Actually, exactly the same. The camps will slowly start. But having Leoric all the way onto the side every single time when Sonya is onto the camp usually or joining the team fight, I think Tempest need to start a very good one. They keep on having disjointed 2-man, 3-man when they lack damage. And from Raven's side, there's a lot more damage from what I see.
Well, this is going to be a very tense moment. Remember, Raven has the better comp in terms of poking down this Shrine. They have a great solo clear with Sonya. She's actually just taken the camp. She's rotating down now. The longer this goes on, that top camp will likely kill the top fort. So this is a huge win for Raven. They're on even talent tiers. This is the best chance Raven has had in this series to win a game. This is going to be the most important Punisher of all 3 we've seen so far. The double swap comes through.
Nice swap in.
Darvish healing up so much, and Sign is going to be the first to die here. This is over. This fight is done. They've done it. Raven is going to take this Punisher. And they have camps in mid, and they have camp in the top. It's a great position for them now, G-Club. They're going to set up to push this bot lane with the Impaler camp as well to try to threaten this keep.
Okana couldn't even start the blade, and Sign was caught in the middle, couldn't really start the Mosh. By the time he was trying to look for the angle for Mosh, the damage...
He was already dead.
Yeah, the burst damage from Lunara, Artanis, and Sonya was insane. Ancestral couldn't even go in, that's the thing. They're positioning a little bit off, but well done by Raven there. And they're really showing the burst damage, why they drafted into this kind of style. I questioned a little bit when I saw it for the first time, but with the 7-sided strike, I think it's enough to get those kills.
Okay, can they get a keep? This would be a huge turning point for Raven. Okay, Punisher comes in, already avoided here by Leoric. They have, this is actually the Arcane Punisher, huge opportunity here. Good swaps again. You see the big blind coming down. No one can do damage on the side of Tempest. They're cutting back very carefully, but NMX is just doing so much free damage. If it's not to the heroes. Oh, look at that, triple stun!
Triple stun from the Punisher.
Ancestral misses! He fails the Ancestral. The keep is down. This could be Raven taking a game in this series.
Let's see.
They're on the core. They've got Sonya. They've got Lunara.
They still have 7-sided strike and another Thorn available. There's the Ancestral onto Genji. The Dragon Blade pops
NMX
out.
is the target. They want to get him down. He's one of the best damages, but can they deal with him and the Sonya?
But
I don't think so.
Core. The core is going down 30%. I think they have more than enough damage. Signs, stop trying to stop this from happening with the Mosh on to the other side. But the core goes down. Raven takes game number 3.
Raven will take their 3rd map of the season tonight against Tempest, a team that was massively favored against them. They made the Lunara draft work, and to be frank, the rotations we saw for Tempest were weak. Their team fighting was very much pick-oriented, and they couldn't get the picks they needed. Lunara, I don't think, died a single time except that one gank. That was the gank in the mid lane, but beyond that, I don't think Lunara died a single time in team fights. Maybe she died in the last team fight, but that's insignificant, right? Like, those are the 2 moments, but otherwise was always left to her own devices, able to do so much damage there. And we're going to a game 4.
That's crazy. And
that is crazy.
Chum barely played Karazim just twice before today. So, and those kill picks when he dashed in, I think he got almost 3 kills alone, just diving in. Of course, sometimes he sacrificed himself, but it's better than just losing, not getting any kills, and I think that really helped catching them EXP, and they got to level 10 first. Their rotational work was pretty good. Their camp timing, along with Sonya, worked so much better. I don't think I've never seen that kind of rotation coming out from Raven at all.
Yeah, it was really a sight to behold, and I'm excited to see what the rest of the series holds now. I think that dealing with the Lunara in the draft is going to be something that Tempest has to keep in mind, that they weren't really thinking about necessarily going into that 3rd game. And it's been a while since we've had a non-3-0 series here at the part 2, so I'm excited to see game 4. You know, I read all my drafts down here on my notebook, and I had to write down G4 and put the dash there. I'm like, yes, it feels like a good night of Heroes of the Storm.
Yep, that's right. And I think the way Tempest had lockdown on Greymane and Sign on ETC and on Kona on Genji, it was a little bit weird having... Others were okay, but lockdown on Greymane, that's not the most common one. I think they drafted all right, but the roles and who to play which hero was a little bit off. I think that costed them somewhat when they had to do, especially Leoric missing from the team fight, oftentimes really not doing too much.
Was not very good.
I don't think I've ever seen a good Entomb in that game.
I don't think so either. I don't think we really saw Leoric's value really come to effect in that last game. So we don't know what map we're headed to just yet, guys, as it'll be our first game 4 of the evening, our 2nd of this weekend. Okay, it is Tempest map pick, and they're going to take us to Sky Temple.